Brothers and the occasional sister joining us today on the veranda. I have had a pretty full-on week and the body is a bit tired. Pace, I'm trying to do a bloody vlog here. Your head in the way is not going to work. I've made a self-watering planter box, and for those of you who support me on the other platform, you will have seen already, but basically you don't have to water it. You fill it up once and it pretty much lasts, unless you had like a whole year of no rain. He's on the old, I'm actually on a dog pillow. I am shattered. It's been a week of work and I just had to stop. One of the worst things you could do for your health is use mouthwash or fluoride. And it's interesting because 2/3 of Americans use mouthwash, and America's got the highest rate of cardiovascular disease and a whole lot of other diseases too. Isn't that crazy? Such a advanced country, yet they haven't worked it out yet. And it comes down to one simple little thing, a nitric oxide. We've got over 100,000 kilometres of capillaries, blood vessels, arteries like the big ones, veins through our entire body, feeding every molecule of our body all the nutrients we need, the oxygen we need, removing all the radical things which are going to cause us injury or disease. And that's all done by blood and vasodilation. It doesn't matter whether it's systemic heart disease or Alzheimer's. A lot of those functions require nitric oxide. Nitric oxide has a half-life of 1 second, and basically it's created by mostly the greens that you eat. It goes through the crypts of your tongue, and the nitrogen becomes a nitrite because of the microbiome in your tongue. We've got microbiome from our tongue to our anus all the way down, and that then creates that nitrite into a nitric oxide, which creates the vasodilation and does the rest. If you have a mouthwash regularly, like a lot of people do, if you use fluoride on your teeth, or if you have it in the municipal like water where you live, it's destroying that process pretty much 100%. But not only that, it robs you of all the benefits of sport, of fitness, of eating healthy vegetables, because when you eat your healthy vegetables, you can't create that nitric oxide. So if you're doing everything to be healthy, but you're still getting crook, you might want to look at it. And the good news is, it only takes 4 days for your body to reset its microbiome once you take that away. You remember during COVID, they said use antiseptic, and it kills 99.9% of germs. Well, that's what fluoride does, and that's what mouthwash does. It also kills the ones that you need, the good ones, the microbiome, that are right there in the crypts of your tongue. So this process, which causes systemic disease, particularly things like atherosclerosis and that, it's one of the main contributing factors to this. And for a lot of years, people didn't know. They used to think that gingivitis and gum disease was actually, and periodontal disease was related to heart disease. So they would give you an antiseptic to kill that in your mouth. But what was actually going on was you had an imbalance in your microbiome, so your nitric oxide wasn't worse, and then you pile on top of that an antiseptic mouthwash or fluoride toothpaste, and that would exacerbate the problem, and eventually you'd develop either heart disease or dementia or something and get sick and die. G'day, mate. How you doing? We're having a day for the dogs today. Got all the dogs just hanging out loose. Hello, Po. You come in to see me too, have you, mate? Hey, having a good day, girl? Hey? I don't want you right in my face while I'm doing this vlog. Not really, no. Away you go. Away you go. Bugger off. We were going to go hunting tomorrow, but I smashed my leg on the back of the tailgate. I absolutely did a beauty on it. It floored me. The tailgate was poo. You've been eating something rotten. Bugger off. Whoa, she stinks. Dogs will eat the crappiest stuff. There you go. So there's a tip, brothers. If you want to increase your health, knock that one out of your regime if you're using a mouthwash, and it's something your doctor probably won't know unless he's reading the latest science papers, if he's up to scratch with what's going on. This is only technology that we've understood in the last 10 years, and it still hasn't leaked through to the medical profession. That stinks. Po, go away. Po, where you go? You stink. Go away, Po. Oh, you got a rotten breath. Go on, piss off. Pace, you can stay here, but Po, you can go away. Where you go? Oh. Hey, Pace, get out of there. Trying to bloody have me a cup of tea. He thinks I'm going to send him away too. We're lying on this big dog blanket together. I bought it for the dogs and I ended up using it myself. Oh, I'm using a chai tea right now. It's really nice. Anyway, brothers, just a short one today. Do your research and check it out. There's a Dr. Byron, what's his name? I forget. He's got a really good paper on this that I read. His last name's Byron, actually. I forget the first. He's really, really good, and he's published some good papers on it. It is science, and it's been peer review tested. It's not just bullshit. It's factual. And but I always say to everybody, do your own homework if you want to live a happier, better life. I wish I had years ago instead of just blindly sticking everything in the gob they told me to. We're always looking for stuff with really good long-term studies that have been fully tested over a long time with lots of people, rather than just these short fads. There's a lot of diets out there, and a lot of them work for a certain amount of time. I think the ketogenic diet is a really good example of a diet that really works well. So is the carnivore diet too, for a short term. But then again, so does chemotherapy works for a short term too. But if you were on chemotherapy indefinitely, it'd kill you. And it's like those other diets too. You've got to have something that's sustainable, that you go on for a period of time, and then you go off. Anyway, we won't start going down that rabbit hole. Have a great weekend. It's Friday. This is the Bro Check Club. I'm going to go back to my cup of tea and enjoying doing nothing for the rest of the day. Well, that's not true. I'm going to be gardening very slowly because I've wrecked my body. I've overdone it again. I kept thinking I'm still 20 in my brain and I can go hard, and I've been lifting rocks and been, yeah, if you really want to make a garden that self-waters through the summer, have a look jump onto my Patreon. I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll go onto Patreon and I'll make it free. I'll go and make it so it's free to the public. So just jump on board the Patreon. I'll put a link below where my Patreon is, and you don't have to pay, and you can just watch it through there. Normally you've got to pay for everything on Patreon, but I'll make this one free today because I'm going to put it on public anyway down the track. Have a great weekend. Check on a brother. Check on what you're putting in your mouth, and it's equally as important what you're putting into it, what's coming out of it, and go steady. And we're not hunting tomorrow because the leg is damaged. It hurts. It hurts a lot. Beautiful day. Just a beautiful day. See ya. Cessna. I've jumped out of one of those 3 times. The last jump, the main chute got tangled, and I almost had to come down on my reserve. Just managed to get it straight at the last minute. Roman candle when it twists. I can remember them shouting out to me, what were they saying? Release your main, release your main. I'm looking at my altimeter, getting close to the ground. Like fuck I am. I waited till I got to 800 and finally it came undone. If I'd left it any longer, I would probably land with broken legs, but it popped open, luckily. See ya. Oh, I can hear a cock, ring-neck cock pheasant. Interesting. They've come back.